I'm very excited for this series because I'm sure whenever you read articles on health, this is something which would have creeped into those articles. You would have read it here and there. It's something called gut, right? You've heard about it. You've also heard gut is our second brain, a healthy gut, a healthy life, right? So I'm also sure that you could be somebody because you are all enthusiasts, enthusiasts, right? Somebody who's willing to read some more, listen to somebody who's an expert, and tweak a little bit here and there in your lifestyle to make sure that you have the optimal health. And that is what is our mission. My health, my gift mission is to touch several people, at least a lakh of people, impact their health. And that has been our mission from the very beginning. And we are excited to be here to bring you this free series here, wherein you can make a note of small little things that you can tweak here and there. Right? If there's anything that you would like to know about health, I must tell you that this is something that you want to know, that your body has a ringmaster, right? A ringmaster is something which will determine, which will govern your digestion, your immunity, even your brain, your overall health, and actually to say your happiness as well. And that is gut. So you want to know what, what are the things about the gut that I can do for my own health and make sure that I live a very vibrant and a healthy lifestyle. So here I bring you a very good friend of mine, and she's somebody that I've known for years now, and she's an Ayurvedic physician. Along with that, with our constant regular, communication and discussions and so many other talks that we've had together, she's somebody who had always wanted to study and, make sure that she becomes a little more better and offer the right things to her patients. So she has recently completed her master's in clinical dietetics, and along with the Ayurvedic principles, today she treats all her patients. And not just the sickness industry, she's also a big influencer in the health industry, the preventive care as we call it. And she's none other than Dr. Rashmi. And I would like to invite Dr. Rashmi here. I'm very happy and proud to introduce her to this set of enthusiasts here. And with that, Rashmi, take it away. The stage is all yours, and you can, go ahead. You can start talking. Yeah, Rashmi.
Sure, Prachi. Thank you so much for that nice introduction. I just hope I'm audible. I'm
Yes,
audible,
yes, you
Prachi?
are. Yes, you are audible.
Okay,
Loud
sure.
and
A very
clear.
good morning to you all. And thank you for being here. And thank you for taking that initiative of taking care of your health. And I really appreciate your initiative and initiative or the first step that you have taken to learn more about your health. And the topic today is the gut health. And I'm really happy that there are so many people who have come to know more about their gut health. This is the morning, and I just hope you all have had your breakfast or tea or whatever. And I just hope that you're all full and ready and attentive to listen to me. Uh, yes, that's all right. But I just want to see all your pretty faces. That will definitely make me less sleepy. Otherwise, who knows? I may go into sleep. I may fall asleep. So please, I request you all to please switch on your camera so that I can see you all and I know that I'm talking to people. I'll just give you all 2 minutes. Please be on video. Thank you all. Yeah. So the topic today is, let me start sharing my screen first. Yeah. Prachi, is my screen visible?
Yes.
Yes, Rashmi.
Yeah,
It's coming up. Yes, it's in the slideshow. You can go ahead.
The topic that we chose today is gut feeling. Okay, we all at some point of time in our lives, we all have felt that that gut feeling. Okay, and we have all taken, sometimes we have all taken decisions based on this gut feeling of ours, that intuition that we have all had. So I just want to know, I just by the end of this discussion, I just want you all to know if there is any relationship between this gut feeling, and is there any rational behind this gut feeling, and is there any relationship between this gut feeling and our health? So that is what the discussion today is all about. So before we delve deeper into the subject, I just want You all, most of you already know what gut is, but just, to start the topic in a proper way, I'm just telling you what gut is. Gut is all that, all the organs that are responsible for the digestion, for the food, whatever is related to your food, starting from your ingestion, from your mouth, oral cavity, your esophagus, and all the organs, your intestines, and also liver and pancreas are also a part of your gut. Okay, so why did we choose this topic? You're all exposed to a lot of things about food, what is good food, what is bad food, what you should avoid, what you should not avoid, blah blah blah, a lot of things. You also know what is the nutritional value of so many different foods that you are consuming, right? But one thing, one very important thing that is missing is the health of your gut. So that is a very important factor which determines how the food is digested in your body, how the nutrients are absorbed and assimilated into various parts of your body, how the food that is digested and the waste is eliminated out of your body. So the health of the gut determines all of these things. And not just that, in the coming slides, you will also understand that the health of the gut is also directly related to the overall health and well-being of your body as well as your mind. Okay, so that is why we chose this topic here, because it is a very important topic. Okay, what is gut health? Gut health is, like you can yourself read here, gut health refers to the health of the entire digestive system. Okay, and not just that, the health of the microorganisms living in the digestive tract. Okay, so what are all inclusive in this gut health? The gut health also includes not just the whatever is visible in that slide, but also the things like there are for your gut, the entire gut, there are four layers, four linings. Okay, there is serous layer, there is the musculature in between, then there is submucosa, mucosa. So what is the health of all these things? So what is the health? There is something called as microbiome. There are a lot of microbes that are residing inside our gastrointestinal tract. So there are good bacteria, there are bad bacteria, there are billions of trillions of bacteria inside ourselves. So okay, what is the diverse, what is the health of the microbiome also determines the gut health. Okay, so not just the health of your gut also is determined by the acids, the juices, the enzymes, coenzymes, cofactors. Not just this, there are a lot of hormones that are generated, that are released in the system. So that, and the nervous system, there is a very complex nervous system. The nervous system inside your gut is related to your brain, directly related to your brain. There is one very big nerve that innervates your intestines, that is directly connected to your brain. That is called as the vagus nerve. Sorry? Yeah, someone please mute yourself. Someone is unmuted. Okay, so this is where this endocrine system and nervous system. This is where we call it as the gut is your second brain. Okay, so there is a direct connection between your stomach and your brain, your stomach and your endocrinal system. The stomach itself is a very a very great endocrine system. There are a lot of hormones that are generated in the gut itself. Okay, so there is something called as hypothalamus, pituitary, and adrenal axis. Okay, so this axis is also connected to your gut. Okay, and what is the condition of the circulation? How is the blood supply? How is the arterial supply? How is the venous drainage? How the blood is coming and going from your intestines, from your gut, is also, these all are the factors which tell you how your gut is. Gut health is inclusive of all these things, and not just these things. Ayurvedically speaking, there are different kinds of vatas that are responsible for your health. Like when you're doing homa, means most of us are, we are all Indians here. We all know there's something called as homa or havan, what we call as havan jo karta hai na, uske bare mein. So I just want to give you a very simple simile here. There is the homa kundala, that is structured boundary around the homa kundala. So then there is sand that is laid, and then there is they put this wood logs and all. So these are all the layers of the intestinal system which you can consider. And then The Agni is invoked. The Agni is nothing but, and the Agni is inclusive all these things, right? And then and then they blow a little bit of air so that the air, the Agni is properly lit, right? So that is nothing but the Samana Vata. There is air inside inside your digestive system that is giving the proper the Agni is lit because of the Samana Vata. Okay, so all these are inclusive of the health of the gut. Okay, so when all these are in proper proportion or when they are balanced, that is when your gut is healthy. I just don't want to confuse you with a lot of details here. So let's take it right and make it easily understandable. Sorry if I was a little over. Okay, so this is about gut health, right? Then what are the signs of healthy gut? How do you know? Okay, madam, you just told me all these things. So these are all inclusive of the gut health, blah, 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 blah. Okay, but how will I know whether my gut is healthy or not? So very simple basic signs to look for is whether your gut is healthy or not. Just look how is your appetite. Whenever it is time to have your food, if at all, if you're having your food at proper regular intervals and at proper timings, yes, then how is your appetite? Is your appetite good? Do you feel like eating food? Or do you eat food just because you have to eat and because it's food time? Or just because someone in your house, your mother-in-law, or someone tells you to eat. So how is it? Is it because you feel like eating? So that is very important. So after you have consumed your food, how do you feel? Do you feel comfortable? Do you feel light? Or do you have some pain here and there? And do you have that some discomfort? Or do you or what? How is it? How is it that you feel? Do you feel light or heavy? How do you feel? Means do you feel like, oh my God, I just had my food. I just want to lie down for some time. Or do you feel energetic, active? So after eating food, after post lunch, if you have to attend your meeting, how is it that you're feeling? Are you feeling like drowsy? Oh my God, I had to sleep for some time. Or are you active? Okay, so easy elimination of waste. Okay, that is proper fecal means proper defecation. How is it happening? As soon as you get up in the morning without any stimulants, like some people have the habit of drinking lots of warm water and flush the bowels out, or some people gallons of coffee and then you're passing your bowels. Okay, so how is that? Is that without any stimulation, are you able to pass out your bowels? And with ease. Now, if you're, it has to be it has to easily come out without any delay. So if that is happening, then your gut is healthy. Okay, so these are all the signs, and that the stools that you're passing should be well formed. It should not be very hard. It should not be very slimy, or it should not be very watery. So that is how, these are the signs, very simple signs that you can observe for yourself. Okay, so what are the so this is about yeah. So then that is about healthy gut. So what are the signs of unhealthy gut? What you should watch for? What are the things that signal you to take attention to act on your gut health? So that is first thing is loss of appetite. Okay, loss of appetite is physiological sometimes. Means when it is not a food time, and when it is in the during night times and all. So that is a physiological loss of appetite. There is nothing to worry about. And pathological loss of appetite, like if a person is having some fever or is going through some wear and tear or some repairs which are happening inside the body because of various other conditions, temporary conditions, and that person is having loss of appetite, is okay. He will get back that appetite as soon as it starts feeling better. But otherwise, how is your appetite? As I already mentioned, how is it that you feel when the food is kept in front of you? Do you feel like eating, or do you have to push it down your throat? How is it? Okay. So if there is loss of appetite, take attention. I will tell you what to do when there is loss of appetite, and I will come to this in the later slides. Okay. If there is acidity and burping, okay, or if there is bloatedness, if there is accumulation of gas here and there, if you feel like passing flatulence, so how is it? Do you feel constipated? No, there is for so many days you're not passing your motions, or your bowels are coming out with great difficulty. How is it? Or if you're frequently having this episodes of loose motions, some people also have, as soon as they eat food or as soon as they drink something, they feel like passing their bowels. So in these are all the signs that ask you that scream at you to take action. Okay, so frequently, if you're frequently falling sick, and nutritional deficiencies, if you're anemic, if you're constantly having B12 deficiency, so these are all the signs that your gut is not healthy. So people frequently come to me, madam, I have been eating so. I've been eating everything that the internet tells me to, but still, my blood levels are showing this. So that is because of an unhealthy gut. Okay, so why am I speaking so much about gut? Why is this gut so important? As I already mentioned, healthy gut is very important for a good overall health, both physically and mentally. So unhealthy gut is the root cause for so many diseases. Ayurveda says most of the diseases are because of unhealthy gut. Like if you're having a proper gut, there's beautiful shloka that I want to tell you all here. So this is Ayur Balavarnam Swastham. So Ayur, if you're having a healthy gut, so you'll have a very good lifespan because you'll not be having diseases and you'll be living long. So Ayur Varna Balam. So the complexion here doesn't mean how fair a person is or how dark a person is. Complexion here just means the uniformity of your complexion. Whatever is how is the tone of your skin? Is it uniform? Balam, you're strong. Swasthyam, I know there is health, a health everywhere, not just your gut. When your gut is healthy, there is health in all other parts of your body also, even your mind. Utsaha means there is enthusiasm. Upachayo prabha, there is proper growth, nourishment, and development. Okay, so means there are so many wear and tear happening every day in your body. So when your gut is healthy, that wear and tear is naturally happening, and there is proper repair every day. Okay, Ojas Tejo Agnayaha. So this Oja is the immunity. When there's healthy gut is there, then there is good immunity. Okay, the person will be bright, the person will be enthusiastic, and you feel like talking to such a person. Okay, so these are all done by the Agni. Means what is this gut health is Agni is a very simple term which is inclusive of all these things that have been talking to you about. Okay, Pranastokta Dehagni Etataha. So this gut is also the healthy gut is also considered as the prana itself, the life force itself. Okay, Shanti Agnom Mriyate, when the gut health is diminished, or if we say if you consider as I mentioned in the Homa episode in the Homa simile, the same the Agni, if it is distinguished, if it is diminished, what happens? Okay, so the same way, if the Agni is diminished, or whatever you're giving to the Homa, all that is getting it is lying there, and there is a lot of smoke that is coming out, right? The same way, when the Agni inside your body is extinguished, the person will die. Okay, so it is as important. The gut health is so important that if this is not healthy, it will also lead to death. I will explain all these things again in the next slides. Okay, Yukte Chiram Jivatya Namaya means if it is proper, if your gut health is good, then you will be living, you will have a prolonged lifespan, you will have a very good lifespan without any diseases. Okay, Rogi Syadvikruti, if there is any disturbance in the gut health, then the person will end up having diseases. Okay, that is why it is called as Moolam. That is Agni, the gut health is considered as the Moola, the foundation of your health, of your life itself. Okay. So what are the contributing factors? So what all influence your gut health? Okay, so we understood about what is gut health. We understood why it is important. Now, let us understand why. We also understood what the signs to look out for whether to know whether your gut is healthy or not healthy. Now, let us come to what are the things that influence your gut health. So there are natural influences, like I'm going to tell you all this, like Prakriti or the constitution of the person. Okay, some people are genetically having a very strong gut health. Some people genetically have a weaker gut. Okay, so gut health is also directly influenced by the desha or the region. Okay, region where you're living in. Like people who are living in marshy lands, they have a little weaker gut. The functioning of the gut is a little weaker. But the people who are living in dry lands, their gut is very good. Their gut health is very good comparatively. It is not that not to the abnormal range, within the normal range itself. So these people have a better digestive health. These people have a little weaker digestive health. Season season and time of the day. Season in the sense, like the same marshy lands and all. In rainy season, you all must have already observed. In rainy season, we are prone to get digestive disturbances because the agni as such is a little weaker during those seasons. Okay, and other dry seasons and summer season and all, it is better. You're not prone to get so many stomach issues, health issues. Okay, and time of the day. So before sunrise and after sunset, there is the digestive system is weaker. The digestive system is a little sleepy. It also wants to take rest. It sleeps for the day. Okay, so I had a patient. I just want to give you an example here. I'm digressing from the topic directly. I had a patient who lives in Mumbai who had to leave his house by 4:30 in the morning, 4:35 in the morning. What he used to do is this patient came to me for a pancreatic issue. He had some pancreatitis. He came to me when I took history and I was understanding what all is his dinacharya means, what all he does, what is his lifestyle, what's his diet routine and all. That's when he told me that he has a habit of eating his food at 5 o'clock in the morning and going off to his work because he is unable to have his food at any other time. After he goes to his office, he'll be busy. So 4:35 is not the time when the Agni Deepti is not there. Means the digestive system is still sleepy. It is not active yet. And when you're putting food, so obviously that food is not getting digested. So it is very important to have your food after means during the daytime. Preferably have finish off all your meals when there is daylight. Okay, or at least as soon as the sun is set by 7:30, 8 o'clock, like that, you finish off your food. Satmya, or what the person is accustomed to eating. Like, we are all Indians, like South Indians are accustomed to eating rice, North Indians are accustomed to eating roti, chapati, and all. And the people from Punjab, they are more accustomed to using dairy products, eating dairy products. From the northeast part, they are accustomed, they are used to eating fish, such things. Okay, so what you are accustomed to eating, please continue eating that. That goes well with your body. That is what you have been grown up with. That will suit your body well. So these are all the influences naturally. So there are certain things, which acquired influences, like which can be changed. Okay, the type of food. Okay, what is the kind of food that you're eating? Whether it's a healthy food or unhealthy food, whether it's heavy, light, dry, wet. So all these also influence your metabolism or your agni. Okay, as I told you, and you should also consume the food which is suitable to your personal prakriti. Okay, when the type of food is suitable to your prakriti, the gut health will be intact. Okay, time of food consumption with respect to, as I already mentioned this. The health status, physiologically, the gut health or the agni is sluggish or the metabolism is sluggish during certain physiological changes that are happening in your body. For example, I know during pregnancy, during lactation, or when a person is going through illness. So in these conditions, what is happening is the metabolism is higher. Metabolism is definitely higher. The body's demand for nutrients is high. But what is happening here is the entire energy of the body is focused on repairing that part, or repairing or giving nourishment to the baby, or giving nourishment to the giving all the nutrients to the milk, supplying all the nutrients to the milk. So this at this time the body's energy is focused there and not towards digesting and not completely towards your digestion. So in such conditions, when the body's concentration is somewhere else, don't give very heavy food. So in such conditions, even though the demand is more, you should give something which is light, which is easily digestible by the body. Okay, the status of the mind. You all must have already noticed that when you're sad, when you're depressed, or when you're angry, so the urge to have food is less. In such a condition, after ठूस ठूस के खा रहे हो तो it will lead to a lot of health issues. It doesn't get digested at all. and leads to a lot of health issues. The whatever we eat, the body's ability to digest it and metabolize it and throw it out of your body determines how healthy you are. Okay, the presence or absence of harmful substances what is consumed. And like one thing is unknowingly we are consuming a lot of harmful substances. Not that we want to consume, but we don't know. Means with this industrialization, we are exposed to a lot of harmful substances. Okay, so like pesticides, a lot of preservative loaded for foods which are not fresh, which we don't know from where we are manufactured, where that's manufactured, whether it is added with what kind of pesticide, what kind of this preservatives and all, we don't know. So, like there are some foods wherein unknowingly there are so many other toxic materials that are coming in. So that also affects the health of the gut. Okay, so when you're eating your food, like 8 o'clock you had your food, and 9 o'clock if you're again you're loading yourself with food, that is definitely not getting digested, and that gets converted into toxins. Okay, so that is why the presence or absence of food, and whether it is digested or partially digested in your gut at the time of food consumption is very important. That is a very great influencing factor for your health. Okay, it's also influenced by the food combination. There are certain foods which are not to be combined together. Okay, like equal proportion of honey and ghee, for example. And I'm just giving you one or two examples here. And some people have the habit of mixing salt with milk. And when kuch to be, they are going to prepare some dishes when they're adding salt and milk. So that is not good. And so this milk and fish, there's all wrong combinations. So these combinations immediately affect the gut health. Means like instantly. Okay, some people who are very sensitive to observation, who are in touch with their body, who are still listening to their body, they can understand. Otherwise, they will neglect it until it becomes a very chronic issue. Then what are so we understood about all these things. So what will happen if my gut is not healthy? What will happen if I don't take care of my gut health? Like we all, and especially Indians, have this habit of neglecting. Arey, let go, chalta hai, that attitude. That attitude leads us to very big major health issues. Few years back, down the lane, some 30, 40 years, most Indians were very healthy. Now it is very sad to see that every family has a diabetic, every family has one or two hypothyroid patients. So this is what is happening when we are constantly, continuously neglecting the signals that is sent by our body. Okay, so what are the consequences? When you're neglecting these signs and symptoms, that we're neglecting the signs of unhealthy gut, when you're not focusing on how whether your gut is healthy or not on a daily basis. So consequences are these things. So hypercholesterolemia, dyslipidemia. So all these things. So why this is happening? So when the food consumption is not good, when we're eating improper food, like whatever I mentioned previously, the acquired influences, if that is there, and if you're loading ourselves with unhealthy food, sugar-rich food, this refined carbs and all, and on a daily basis, in a larger amount, what is happening is there is a disturbance in the microbiome of our gut. Okay, so there is good bacteria and bad bacteria. As long as they are in a balance and the good bacteria are richer, and more diverse, then it's not going to affect you. But when we are constantly consuming this refined sugars, all these unhealthy habits, and this refined carbohydrates and all these things, what is happening is there is dysbiosis. There is the balance in your gut microbiome is disturbed. Okay, so the good bacteria is reduced and the bad bacteria is flourishing. So bad bacteria flourishes in all these things like sweets, sugars, refined carbs, and all these things. Bad bacteria flourish in all these things. When they flourish in all these things, and the food that you're consuming, what is happening is there are a lot of metabolites that are produced by these bacteria. Okay, these metabolites like TMAO and all, what they do is along with that, this metabolites these metabolites are produced and there is platelet aggregation. Okay, so to put it simply, what is happening is this is causing cholesterol deposition on the vessel walls. Okay, when the cholesterol deposition is having on the vessel walls inside your on the means inside your heart arteries, what is happening is there is heart attacks and all those things are happening. And if it is happening on the vessel walls of the kidney, then kidney diseases occur. Okay, so this is one of the consequences of unhealthy gut and hormonal issues. Why do so many people are having diabetes, thyroid issues, and all? This is also because of this disturbance in the gut microbiome. Okay, and as I told you earlier, there is an endocrine system within the gut itself. Okay, so because of all these disturbances in the gut, what is happening is the hormonal signals are not properly produced, and there is no proper feedback mechanism to the brain or the hypothalamus pituitary adrenal axis is there. No, so to put it simply, there is signals that are produced means inside the gut that are means the signals are sent directly to the hypothalamus. Then from there, pituitary means these are all the hormones which are responsible. These are all the glands which are responsible for producing hormones inside your body, right? So when there is a disbalance, when there is miscommunication between the gut and these glands, what is happening is the person is having start to have all these hormonal issues. Diabetes is also means there are few hormones that are produced in the gut that are directly related to the metabolism of glucose. They are related to the satiety factor. They're related to the hunger factor and the fat metabolism and all these things. When these things are disturbed, that is when, as I told you, the signal generation is not proper, and then person starts having hormonal issues. Obesity and underweight both are related to an unhealthy gut. Obesity because when the gut health is not proper, what is happening is there is no proper nutrient absorption inside the system. Okay, the blood is not having proper good amount of nutrients. Okay, so when there is lack of nutrient, what is happening is this body is craving for nutrients, and the easy form of nutrient for the body, from the body's perspective, is carbohydrates. So the person starts eating calorie-rich food, and in turn, I know that is not getting absorbed. The nutrient is still not getting absorbed. It is a vicious cycle. So because of overeating, the person is getting obese. Okay, one thing. Second thing is there are basic ghrelin and leptin hormones. There is disturbance in the hormone. So there is disturbance in the satiety and hunger factor inside your body. So that also leads to obesity. Underweight for the same reason, the nutrient absorption is not right, and certain nutrients when they're not absorbed, the appetite is extinguished. Okay, so the appetite is extinguished, the person eats less and he ends up having underweight. The same nutrient absorption, when it's not proper, the person will end up having low immunity and he is getting frequent attacks of so many health issues, diseases. Okay. So autoimmunity. So this is very common nowadays. Okay, your own body cells, your own immune cells acting against your own body cells, it is very common. The reason for this is again the same. There is the layer of the gut because of all these whatever reasons I told already. The lining of the gut is scrapped. Okay, the mucosal lining is scrapped, and the intestinal permeability. What is happening is the nutrients are absorbed, right? So, like when you're pouring tea from the into the tea filter, what is happening is it is filtering the tea. Means it is filtering all the residue, and the tea is coming out, right? So that is normalcy. What is happening is when there is increased intestinal permeability, what is happening is you're pouring the tea, but the holes in the tea filter is very large. The holes are very large, or it is broken completely. So what is happening is you're with all the residue, with all the chai patti and all, the tea is coming down. So the same thing happens here also. There is this filtering mechanism inside the gut. Okay, the mucosa, submucosa, they act as a barriers. Okay, so whatever we eat, there is a certain amount of barrier, or it is the body is guarded against toxins in the first level. Okay, there's a natural defense mechanism is always there in place. But because of all these faulty habits and faulty eating things, what we are doing is that is eroded. Okay, that layer is eroded, and the whatever all this bacteria, this viruses, everything gets inside the circulation. Along with it, toxins are also means because of all these things, as I already told you, some toxic metabolites are produced, and these toxic metabolites are also directly getting absorbed. So when there is so much of unhealthy things in the system, what is happening is the body is getting confused of what is good, what is not good. Oh my God, should I attack this? Should I not? Should I attack this? Or should I let this go? So there is constant confusion in your system, in our immune system. There is a constant confusion. So that is what is causing our own body to attack our own cells. So this is one of the very important consequence of unhealthy gut. So allergy and asthma for the same reason. The body is unable to understand what are allergens, what you should act upon and what you should not act upon. Depression and anxiety. This is something which is very interesting. Okay, as when I told you gut feeling. So the gut is not just the brain, the heart, that is everything in your body. Okay, so 95% of serotonin. So that is a neurotransmitter that is responsible for feeling good and all these things. So that is produced in the gut. 95% is produced in the gut. Okay, so when a person is having an unhealthy gut, what is happening is these neurotransmitters are not produced at its actual limits. Okay, so what is happening is, so then obviously the person is feeling depressed and there's anxiety issues and all. I have seen most of my patients who are anxious. In so many cases, I have just addressed their gut health. I just corrected their gut health, and automatically this problem was corrected. People say, "Madam, I had this issue which I had not mentioned it to you, but that issue is also corrected. Did you medicate that also? Did you also diagnose that I had this issue?" So that is what it is. The root cause is addressed in so many causes. Because of all these reasons that I already mentioned, because of so many irregular biochemical reactions that are happening because of all these reasons, so it also leads to cancer. So many cancer patients also have chronic gut health issues, which has ended them into having this issue. Okay, so that is why be very cautious about your health. Listen to your gut. So now, what can I do to preserve good gut health? Okay, so most of us have a disturbed gut health. First thing is, okay, so whether you know it or not, at least today you will. I'm very much sure that today you will go back, sit with yourself, spend some time with yourself. Means you and your body, your soulmate. Your body is your soulmate. Your body is your partner for your life. Okay, I request you all to go take some time, sit with yourself, think, understand what is happening inside your body, whether your food is getting digested properly and that's eliminated properly. At least when you sit in your toilet, that is the time most people have their private time. That is the only private time that most people have. At least when you're doing that, at least focus on what is happening, how much of pressure you are exerting. How much of pressure you're exerting, whether it is easily coming out or not. I'm whatever means pediatric cases that I'm getting, I specifically talk to the kids and I ask them to I'm training them to look after their health, to look after their gut health. So please do it yourself also. After your bowels are emptied, just please don't laugh at this. This is a very serious issue. When you get up, see how the bowels are. Whether it is properly, whether it is like the goats, these things, goats fecus, whether it is like a solid hard, or whether it is slimy, or whether it is loose, whether it is well formed, what is the color of your bowel, whether there are any food particles that are floating. So please observe all these things before you flush out. So this is very, very important. Even you may feel it as silly or laughable, but please do it. Okay, so the first and prime most important thing that you should do to preserve your gut health is to start having the feeling for your gut. Start being conscious of your gut. Like I already told you, please do this. So the gut or the body is constantly sending signals. See, I'm crying, I'm tired. Please help me. When it is telling like that, please give focus. Please give attention to your gut and correct it as and when possible. Next thing is eat food as per your body type. As I already told you, your body type, your prakriti is what should decide the kind of food intake that you should do. As I already mentioned all this in the first initial slides, the body type, region, season, familiarization, and whether you're having appetite or not, how much is your appetite, depending on that you should eat your food. For example, if you're a person, the prakriti, I'll just tell the basic things though, so that you can start following immediately. So if you're a person whose body type is like very dry, you're a person who is always on the go, is always active, who is I'm just telling you the signs and symptoms so that you can identify yourself properly into each category and start following. Okay, so this is the dry body type. Yes, this kind of people generally have a tendency to have a dry skin, and during winters it is very difficult for them. Okay, and these people cannot tolerate either too much of cold or too much of heat, and they are talkative. They like to talk a lot, and um, they will have once their appetite is like flexible, like sometimes they have very voracious appetite, and sometimes their appetite is very less. So this is the body type which we call as vata prakriti type, or to put it simply, it is a dry body type. So this kind of body type, people who are having this kind of body should consume food which is rich in moisture. Okay, which is, if you're going for fruits and vegetables, go for those things that are properly ripened. Don't go for raw varieties. Like if you're eating banana, go for eat the fruit variety, not the raw variety of banana. And these people should avoid consuming foods that are too much spicy, too much sourish, like that. You can avoid vegetables like this karela and this the gongura and all these things you should avoid. Preferably have those things which are filled with water. Okay, like you can have juicy fruits and vegetables. You can have the sweet varieties of fruits like carrots, beetroots, and all. Okay, and one more very important thing is you should avoid using anything that is cold. Have warm food, have warm water, means as much as possible try and avoid anything that is refrigerated, directly coming out of the fridge. You can have water which is room temperature, or in cold season, you can have water which is a little warmer also. Okay, so this is one thing. So the next thing is the heat body type. Okay, the heat body type. These are the people who sweat a lot. Okay, who are generally energetic, and who are very good communicators. Okay, not just talk, they are also very good at communication. Okay, so these are moderately built. I'm not specifically talking about built, because most of us will have altered, because that's not prakriti, that is the vikriti. Because of so many means it is not the natural body type, means it's not the natural um, how you appear is not natural. Okay, so but if I have to tell you, it's moderately built, how you were when you are very young. Okay, when you are a child, how you were. So look at that. If you are a moderately built person, so you fall into this category. Okay, the pitta type. So these people, uh, they like to spend more time in cold climates, and they dislike this hot. Summer is very difficult for them. They get a lot of issues in summer. They are prone to get gastric issues, acidity, and all. If they eat a little bit of more spicy things, they get acidity. So these are the people who fall into this category. These people should have cool items like cool fruits and vegetables, and they can have among this dals and all. They can have moong dal, and they can have sweet varieties of this vegetables and fruits, and they can have ghee instead of any other, in place of any other fat, they can have ghee. These people should avoid non-vegetarian. They should stick to vegetarian diet, freshly prepared. Okay, these people can go for cool items also. They can take, they can receive this cold items also, like refrigerated things and all. These people should consume a lot of dairy products like milk, buttermilk, curd, ghee, butter, and all suits this kind of people. Okay, then there's another type. I'm just classifying in basic three categories. There are so many varieties. There is a mix and match of these personalities. But basic, the root personalities. There is one thing which there is one personality which is, they are basically like they're well built. They're very tall, strong kind of a thing. Their physical strength is also very good. These are the people who don't like to talk. Okay, unless stimulated, unless you shake them up and talk, they're not the people who will talk. Okay, so this kind of people, generally these people will have moist skin. Okay, they will have long, thick black hair. Okay, so they will have a very silky skin, silky hair. So these people can have food like, like dry food, like they can have popcorn, murmura, and all these things. They can have. These people can have these things, and these people can have spices also in a limited proportion. So this is the only personality who can take spices, and sourish items and all. Okay, so this is about a simple this thing about what you should eat as per your body type. As I already mentioned, in your region, stick to what is available in your region, which is locally available, which you have been using all through your childhood and all, what you're accustomed to eating. Okay, and also eat seasonal things, whatever is available in the season. And like, like millets are at the talk of town nowadays. So if you have to, in summer seasons and all, you can go for ragi. In winter seasons, you can go for jowar, like that. Wherever possible, go for heat varieties and cold varieties depending on the season. Okay, and very important thing is, have your meals, fix the meal time, and try to have your meals at that proper time, because there's a circadian rhythm that is inside your body. So the body signals, when you're eating every day at the same time, then the body knows to expect to release certain chemicals, certain enzymes, certain juices, certain acids at that particular time. So the body will be ready, the body will be receptive, and you're giving food. Okay, so that is very important to maintain healthy time. And as I already told, try to eat your food at proper time, like 7:30 to 9 o'clock is a good time to have your breakfast. 1 to 2 is a good time to have your lunch. And again, 6:30 to 8 o'clock, you can give you a little relaxation. 6:30 to 8 o'clock, you can have finish off your dinner. Post that, try and avoid having anything solid. And as and when possible, have your food fresh and warm. Okay. So again, what other things can I do? Have lots of vegetables and fruits, and wherever possible, have them with their peels on. Okay, if you have properly washed your fruits and vegetables or your cereals, if you properly washed it, if you have made sure that the pesticide residues and all the sprays and all the dirt and all that is removed out of your fruits and vegetables, please have it with their peel. Okay, and as much as possible, and include a lot of fibers, and as that's the reason why I mentioned lots of vegetables and fruits, and have grains, cereals and sometimes it's not possible, but try to have wherever the outer skin is, wherever it is possible to eat with the outer skin, eat with the outer skins. As much as possible, try to have whole grains and pulses. Sprouting, the method of sprouting improves the nutrient quotient of the food, and it will also give the fiber, and it is also a very good food for the microbiome inside your gut. Okay, so these all should be included in your food. And again, the Vata kind of people, they cannot have sprouts every day. Okay, they can restrict to 1 or 2 days. The kapha prakriti means the stable, the stronger personality that I mentioned you about. Those people can have sprouts every day. Have rich antioxidants in your food. Have varieties. Have all colors of fruits and vegetables. And if you feel that you need antioxidants, please have antioxidants externally, and try and source it as natural as possible. This antioxidant should be as natural as possible. And if that antioxidant is coming with a lot of preservatives and colorants and all, please try and avoid. That is worse than not having antioxidants at all. Okay, and you can start using. Most of us are already using a lot of herbs in our kitchen. Yes, you can include curcumin, ginger, cinnamon, etc. People of the dry varieties, the dry body type, they can consume herbs like this thing, like cinnamon, soft, ajwain, and all. People who fall into this heat category, they can consume jeera, dhania, these things in excess, like methi, these things they can consume more. The people who are stronger, the kapha prakriti, they can consume the cinnamon, ginger, curcumin in more quantity. When I say more, it is a little more than these people. Okay, not that not that you should overdose yourself, because I have myself seen a lot of people who are overdosing themselves with a lot of herbal remedies. Please restrain yourself. These are highly potent the spices. Our Indian kitchen is loaded with potent medicines. Please use them judiciously. Okay, whatever is this, use them judiciously. Okay. Uh, one very important thing that most of us in this current very busy schedule we are doing is we are holding our urges, especially the urge to pass your bowels. Okay, so especially women, when they're in the morning, they're in a hurry to send off their kids, they're in a hurry to get ready themselves and go to offices. There is a lot of load on women, especially in the early morning. So what most women are doing is they are holding their urges to pass the bowels. This is one. I know there are so many other urges. I'm only focusing on the urge that is directly related to the gut. Okay, so this bubbles and evacuating their bladder means going to the urine and all. Please don't withhold that. What is happening is this is all the vata which is causing the surges. You know, to put it in a very simple terms, there's a heavy amount of kinetic energy that is helping you to have this urge. Okay, very huge kinetic energy. So what is happening is when you're not pushing, not letting it pass out, what is happening is coming back in a reverse direction. That heavy, strong kinetic energy when it's coming back, it is obviously it is a wind, okay, it's an air, it is going to go wherever it want to go. Wherever there is deficiency, curve agony, what we call as wherever there is space, it is going to get there. And it is going to cause a lot of health issues. This is one of the major reasons of so many health issues. So please stop doing this thing at once. Stop holding urges. Okay, reduce chemicals, as I already mentioned. As much as possible, try to reduce chemicals in the form of pesticides. And as much as start reading the labels. Try, if at all, if you have to go for packaged food products, try and avoid those which are having preservatives in it. Okay, have food especially warm and fresh as and when possible. If at all you have to go for packaged food, try to reduce some things. Try to reduce those things which have a lot of pesticides in it or which have additives like sugar additives, or some people will some foods some things will have colorants, or some things will have flavor. That all these things, as long as it's natural, it's okay. But when it is not natural, it is going to cause a lot of problems inside the body. And also, not just this, um, we also have this habit of gulping tablets. Okay, so educated class, we feel that we are educated class, and we store a lot of antibiotics and whatnot chemicals in our home dispensary. Sort of our home is a dispensary in so many houses. So please avoid using those chemicals as and when possible. Try to go for natural remedies. Try not to gulp medicines as and when required over the counter. Even herbal remedies, please don't purchase anything over the counter. Some herbs, as I already mentioned, these are all safe herbs. You can consume them in smaller quantities. But if you're consuming more over a long period of time, that is obviously going to cause issues. Okay. So avoid, especially this antibiotics and all, this paracetamol, this habit of consuming paracetamol every now and then at a simple start of a fever, at a simple start of a headache. Please avoid doing all these things. They are going to disturb the gut microbiome. Not just that, there is a lot of other metabolites which are found which are going to disturb. Okay. As I told you already, avoid processed foods, refined flours like maida and all, refined sugar also. Okay, you can this sugar is okay, but if it is like too much refined and there's a lot of chemicals added to it, that is to be avoided. Okay, as I already mentioned, ready-made packaged foods, please avoid. Okay, if you don't have time to cook, at least have some salad or prepare something at home which is easily available. But as much as possible, read the label and avoid all these things like additives, preservatives, and all which are coming with the package. Okay, pesticides, to remove this vegetables and fruits, what they're loaded with a lot of pesticides, at least on the south surface, at least on the outer surface, wherever possible, wash them thoroughly and use them. Okay, laxatives. And some people have this habit of, okay, I understand that my bowel is not good. Let me go take some laxatives over the counter and consume. Please stop doing that. They're also very, very harmful. That is affecting the biome. Okay, so you can instead of this, what you can do is you can take Triphala Triphala means I will Avlaki, Vivitaki, and Haritaki, what we call it as. This is a very good what we can call as this is very good for your gut health, not just to pass your bowels. It is a very good antioxidant. It stimulates your gut. It stimulates the proper production of certain enzymes in your body. So that you can consume. It is not habit forming. This you can take every day. So 1 or 2 tablets of tripla you can take any day, but please avoid taking laxatives over the counter. As I already mentioned, one more thing that I have forgotten is cookware. Most of us are using this toxic cookware, like Teflon. We want the food to be prepared like this, okay? But what are the side effects of that? The Teflon coatings and whatnot, other coatings, the plastic coatings and all. That is causing a lot of health issues. That is adding a lot to the toxin chamber inside our body. Actually, we are making a toxic chamber inside our gut. So please avoid using these things and avoid using this coated cookware. Go for something which is nature identical, nature similar to the nature and all. And one more thing is, if you are using this iron cookware, also you have to be very cautious with iron cookware or with these things with silverware, means aluminum and all. This also emit a lot of toxins, and aluminum oxide and all is released. And with this iron, what is happening is iron vessels. You cannot cook. Our Indian cooking is generally has a lot of sourish things, like we add a lot of tamarind, or we add tomato to it, or we squeeze a lemon. So when these are added, no, so that is not good to have ironware. Should immediately take it out. So make sure that your cookware is right for the kind of dish that you're preparing. And one more thing is, when you're washing your dishes, use dishwashing things as natural as possible. Okay, don't go for chemically loaded dishwashing gels or soaps or that cakes and all. Okay. And one more, you already know, people have already been talking about plastics. Remove the plastics from your kitchen. At least don't have plastics around your cooking this cooktop. At least nearby your cook table. Don't keep anything that is plastic. Avoid using plastic utensils for your hot food, at least for the hot food. People have the habit of using plastics in microwave. Please avoid doing that. So these are all adding to the toxic load inside our body. Most important, chew your food properly. Okay, not just gulping. And when it comes to water, water is one thing that I had forgotten. Don't take too much of water. Some people have the habit of, okay, I had my food and I had this much of food and I'm going to have this much of water and I will push it down. Please don't do that. Okay, so what is happening is the enzymes, the digestive juices, they're all getting diluted when you're doing this. With your food, limit your water intake. A little bit of water is okay. The general rule for this water and food consumption is the solid food. If your stomach is like, consider, your stomach like this, like one glass, one third of the glass should be full with solid food. One third of your stomach should be filled with solid food, only one third. The next one third can be filled with liquids. Liquids is inclusive of water, your sambar, your rasam, everything. Okay, your buttermilk, everything comes into this one third portion of your stomach. Rest one third should be left as it is. Okay, so that the air that is already inside, the samanavata that is inside your body, let it start functioning. Okay, so that is how much you should take water. For at least next 1 hour or so, restrict consuming too much of water. Let your food be warm and fresh, as I already mentioned. Spend good amount of time in the sun and exercise regularly. Exercising regularly is very important because when you exercise, the muscles contract. There is the tonicity of the muscles around your belly, all of your body is improving. And that is a chain reaction that is happening. Okay, there is a muscle, as I already mentioned, there's a muscle layer in your gut. Okay, that muscle layer, there is constant contraction and relaxation. Okay, this constant contraction and relaxation is happening because of the muscle. Okay, when you're exercising all over your body, this muscle is also properly functioning. You all must have noticed when you're active, when you're exercising regularly, your bowel habit are good. Okay, your peristalsis is also good. Your appetite is good. The reason is this. Okay, so exercise regularly. And I would definitely recommend few asanas. Uh, Exercising is good, but I am someone who would recommend asanas over anything else. Okay. But as Indians, we are blessed with a rich heritage of knowledge. All our Indian sciences are so scientific, so up to date, so very subtle. And yeah, please go for asanas. Even for 5 minutes, we'll do a lot of your. You might be exercising a lot, but spending 5 minutes in this yogasanas is also recommended for the proper gut health. Well, I'm just recommending few of the asanas. There are so many. Okay, one is Pavana Muktasana. This is a very good asana to massage your intestinal organs, even your abdominal organs, your intestines, and improve the peristalsis in your body. And it helps in the proper elimination of the waste out of your body at the proper time. Then comes Trikonasana, same reason, and it is massaging the organs, it is stimulating the pancreas, liver, and also the spleen. It's also very good for the immunity. Then comes this Ardha Matsyendra Asana, Paschimottanasana. These all do the same thing. This will in fact stretch the external abdominal muscles, and it will tone the abdominal muscles, and indirectly it is going to help with your gut health also. Navakasana, Ustrasana. So along with these things, I would also recommend pranayama. Okay, so that one thing, the yogasanas is one thing. Pranayama, whether you do yogasanas or not, I would definitely recommend you to do pranayama. Okay, pranayama, what they call it as, the air that is the air, the pranavata that we are inhaling. So that stimulates a lot of biochemical reactions inside the body. Okay. Um, so this pranavata in turn stimulates so many things, so many other vata, pitta, kapha, and so many other things inside the body. Pranayama is very important, especially the anulom vilom, which anyone and everyone can do, even for 5 minutes. If you do it for even 5 minutes, you will see a lot of tremendous health benefits. This anulom vilom, both Ayurvedically speaking, yogically speaking, this is a balancing yoga, balancing pranayama. So this balances the negative, this heat energy, cold energy. There is a balance in this. As you all are already aware, there is a contrasting forces that are always working in nature and within our body also. Okay, this contradicting forces when they are brought in balance, there is Shiva and Shakti, there is heat energy, there is cold energy. When there is constant, when there is balance, so your body will run smoothly. There is energy, there is health, everything is there. So Anulom Vilom is the one thing that does. And to tell it in a very casual way, it calms your mind. And when your mind is calm, your digestion is better. Okay, just 5 minutes of Anulom Vilom. I have seen tremendous changes in the health of my patients who have been doing Anulom Vilom even for 5 minutes. So this I would recommend for anyone, whether you have gut issues or not. Kapalabhati is another pranayama which directly stimulates the pancreas, your liver, and it will help the peristalsis. Okay, so this is the pranayama wherein you are pushing your stomach inside and you are exhaling, and when you are inhaling, you are relaxing your abdominal muscles. So this pranayama is very good when it comes to gut health. If you are having acidity, if you are having high BP issues, then refrain from doing that. Or if you are having hernia issues and all, please avoid doing this. Otherwise, you can do. Okay. So what? Okay, all these are fine, but I'm already having so many health issues. So what should I do? Okay, if it is simple issues like, if you're having loss of appetite or all these things, like for example, if you're having loss of appetite, if you're not feeling like today, madam, I don't want to eat, what should I do? Depending on your prakriti that I already told, you can choose what you want to eat, but eat something very light. Or what you can do is you can have buttermilk with a little bit of salt and a little bit of ginger, a pinch of ginger and a pinch of salt and a pinch of jeera powder. You can have it. Okay, that will stimulate your appetite. Or if you're sick, wait till you're completely recovered, then it will automatically be set. If you're having acidity issues like acidity or burning sensation, or if you're feeling nauseous and all, then crush some jeera, then or you can take jeera powder and mix with some water and take, or you can take it with honey also. You can use some dhania mixed water. Make a decoction with dhania in the sense coriander seeds. Make a decoction out of it. If you have estimado, add a little bit of estimado, a small half centimeter piece into some 500 ml of water. Boil it, then have it. Okay, if you're having bloatedness, you can take ajwain, or you can take saaf, or the same, and you can have wet ginger, crush it, and you can just chew it and have a little bit, very little bit, like 1 or 2 pinches, you can chew it and finish it off. If you have constipation, as I already mentioned, you can take triphala, increase the amount of fiber in your food. Okay, fiber is very good. It's very good for the health of your gut. Okay, so these are all the simple remedies that you can do. You can do even if you are having some major illnesses that I already mentioned, like diabetes, dyslipidemia, this obesity or thyroid issues, all these things. Even then, please address your gut health. Get treated for your gut issues. Focus on your gut, understand what is happening with your gut. Or if you're not able to understand yourself, because what is happening is we are conditioned to not listen to our body. Okay, when a small kid is coming and telling to his mother, Mama, I don't want to eat something today. I want to eat something light, or I'm full already. When the mother is feeding, the kid says, Mama, I'm full. I'm full. Please don't feed me more. So what the mother is telling? Mother is saying, no, 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 no. This much is not enough for you. You need to eat a little bit more. Please have this much. You should have. And क्या करते हैं हम लोग ठूस देते हैं उसको. And well, we are actually pushing it down the throat of the kid. So we are actually conditioning the kid to not listen to his own body. Okay, so because of this constant conditioning, and we have this habit as Indians, we have this habit of always feeling down upon ourselves. Probably my body is not communicating with me. Probably I am silly. Probably I'm over understanding this. All these things are natural for us. We always want someone else. We want people from the US or UK to come and tell us, no, 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 this is the right thing to do. You have to do yoga. This is very good for you. You have to do pranayama. This is good for you. This. So we are conditioned that way. So please try and understand your own body. If your kid is already having this sense of understanding his body, please let him understand. Encourage him to understand his body. As long as he's not doing something which is going against the health. Like, if they're just because they don't want to eat, and they should not make it as a reason, as a nimitta chekudu, means they should not make it as a habit of always rejecting food. Okay, if they're understanding, then please encourage them to understand. And yeah, where did I go? I was diverted. So I was telling about understanding your body. If you feel that you are unable to understand what is happening with your gut, please book a consultation with your nutritionist or your health coach. Understand what is happening with yourself. Discuss what is happening. Discuss how your appetite is. Discuss how your bowels are. Discuss what is happening after you have had your food. Discuss how you feel after you have consumed your food. Or discuss how is your reaction, how your body's reaction to certain types of foods also. Okay, they may be able to help you better. Okay, so that's it from my side. I think I was able to make few points coming when it comes to this gut health. So thank you for patiently listening to me. That's it from my side, Prachi.
Wow, fantastic, Rashmi. I would request everybody, you would like to appreciate a big clap for Dr. Rashmi here.
Thank you, Prachi. Thank you.
It's been a complete, comprehensive, well detailed on what you do, what you should not do. And definitely it is loaded with a lot of, small, small things that you must change while you are building your health. Thank you very much, Dr. Rashmi. You put in all that, we can see your passion in the way that you treat your patients and the way that you have, presented today. So thanks once again.